There comes a moment in every life when you realize that caring too much has cost you peace. You cared about opinions. You cared about approval. You cared about being liked. And slowly, without noticing, you handed the remote control of your happiness to other people. Let me ask you something important today. How much of your life have you postponed? Because you were waiting for someone else's permission. Some of you have dreams sitting quietly inside your chest, whispering every night before you sleep. But in the morning, fear speaks louder. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. Fear of, what will people say? Listen carefully. Most people who criticize you are too busy avoiding their own dreams. Their opinions are not directions. They are distractions. You don't need to become rude. You don't need to become cold. You simply need to learn a powerful skill. Act like you don't care about what doesn't serve your growth. Because the truth is, when you care about everything, you stand for nothing. When you care about everyone's opinion, you lose your own voice. There is a version of you that is bold. A version that walks into a room and doesn't shrink. A version that speaks without trembling. A version that fails, learns, rises, and tries again without apology. That version of you already exists. But to meet that version, you must stop begging for validation. People will talk whether you rise or remain small, so choose growth. Choose courage. Choose yourself. Act like you don't care. Not because you are heartless, but because your heart finally belongs to your mission, not to the noise. Today, decide this. I will not let fear dress itself. Other people's opinions. I will move. I will act. I will rise. Because the day you stop caring about the wrong things, is the day your life truly begins. Costa fidutos nos go sutinkaus tosnos faviob sucle datal. One of the greatest traps of modern life is the endless search for validation. From the moment we are young, we are taught to look outside ourselves for approval. Good grades earn praise, good behavior earns acceptance, good performance earns recognition. Slowly, without realizing it, we learn to measure our worth through the eyes of others. And as adults, this habit follows us into every area of life. We hesitate to speak our truth because we fear judgment. We delay our dreams because we fear criticism. We shrink our potential because we crave acceptance. This is how the need for validation quietly steals our power. But let's pause for a moment and ask a life-changing question. When will it ever be enough? No matter how perfect you try to be, someone will still misunderstand you. No matter how kind you are, someone will still dislike you. No matter how hard you work, someone will still doubt you. If your happiness depends on external approval, you are giving strangers the keys to your emotional world. And most people don't even know they are holding that power. True freedom begins when you realize that validation from others is temporary, fragile, and unreliable. Today they applaud you, tomorrow they forget you. Today they praise you, tomorrow they criticize you. Basing your self-worth. There is a powerful truth that most people never fully understand. The opinions of others are not instructions for your life. They are simply reflections of their own fears, experiences, beliefs, and limitations. Yet, many people live as if every comment, every criticism, and every suggestion is a command they must obey. This is how potential gets buried under unnecessary noise. From childhood, we are conditioned to listen. Parents, teachers, relatives, friends, society. Everyone has something to say about who we should become, how we should behave, what we should pursue. While guidance can be valuable, blindly following every opinion creates confusion. Instead of living your life, you begin performing a role written by others. You start walking paths that were never meant for you, chasing goals that don't ignite your soul, and silencing dreams that once made your heart race. Here's the truth. Every person sees life through their own lens. Their advice is shaped by their failures, their fears, their insecurities, and their comfort zones. A person who never took risks will warn you against bold moves. A person who settled for less will tell you to be realistic. A person who feared change will advise you to stay safe. When you accept their opinions as directions, you inherit their limitations. You unknowingly download their fears into your future. That is why opinions are distractions. They pull your attention away from your inner voice. They make you question your instincts. They cloud your clarity. They slow your progress. And the more you listen to them, the more disconnected you become from yourself. But here is the empowering part. You get to decide which voices deserve space in your life. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves your energy. Not every suggestion deserves action. Wisdom is not found in listening to everyone. Wisdom is found in filtering carefully. The most successful people in there is a hidden cost to caring too much about everything and everyone. At first, it seems like a noble quality. Being considerate, thoughtful, and emotionally aware appears to be a sign of strength. But when caring crosses a certain line, it stops being compassion and starts becoming a cage. You begin living your life around other people's comfort, expectations, and approval. And in doing so, you slowly give away your personal power. Caring too much often begins with good intentions. You don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to be misunderstood. You don't want to be disliked. You want harmony. You want acceptance. But somewhere along the way, you start sacrificing your truth to keep others comfortable. You silence your opinions. You lower your standards. You delay your decisions. You tolerate situations that drain you. Not because it's right, but because you are afraid of how others might react. This is how overcaring turns into self-abandonment. Personal power is the ability to stand firmly in who you are, regardless of external noise. It is the courage to say yes when you mean yes, and no when you mean no. It is the strength to walk away from what no longer serves you, even if others don't understand. But when you care too much about opinions, rejection, or judgment, this power weakens. You become hesitant. You second-guess yourself. You look outside for permission. And the moment you do that, your inner authority fades. Let's be honest, you cannot please everyone. Trying to do so is a guaranteed path to exhaustion. No matter how much you give, some people will still want more. No matter how gentle you are, someone will still be offended. No matter how fair you try to be, someone will still complain. When you realize this, a powerful shift happens. You understand that your responsibility is not to satisfy everyone. Your responsibility is to live with integrity. Caring wisely is different from caring blindly. Wise caring means you choose where your energy goes. You invest in relationships that respect you. You support people without losing yourself. You show empathy without sacrificing your boundaries. Blind caring, on the other hand, spreads your energy so thin that you forget who you are. You become emotionally tired, mentally drained, and spiritually disconnected. There is a version of you that is confident, calm, and centered. That version does not chase approval. That version does not fear disapproval. That version understands that peace comes self-respect, not from popularity. When inside every human being lives a powerful truth, you already are who you are meant to become. The confident, fearless, successful, fulfilled version of you is not something you must create from nothing. It is something you must reveal. And the key that unlocks this true self is bold action. Not someday, not when conditions are perfect, but now, in the moment, with courage. Most people wait. They wait for confidence to appear. They wait for permission. They wait for the right timing. They wait until fear disappears. But fear never disappears. Comfort never announces itself. And perfect conditions never arrive. That is why so many dreams stay trapped inside imagination. The true self remains hidden behind hesitation. Bold action is the language of the soul. It says, I trust myself. It says, I am willing to grow. It says, I choose movement over stagnation. The moment you take bold action, something shifts inside you. Your identity expands. Your energy rises. Your self-belief strengthens. You begin to see yourself differently. Not as someone who wishes, but as someone who does. Think about the times in your life when you felt most alive. Was it when you played safe? Or was it when you stepped beyond your comfort zone? Every meaningful transformation begins with a moment of courage. A difficult conversation. a risky decision, a new beginning, a firm boundary. These actions might feel uncomfortable, but they are doorways to your authentic power. The world does not reward potential. It rewards action. You can have the greatest ideas, the deepest talents, the strongest dreams, but without action, they remain invisible. Bold action brings visibility to your gifts. It brings momentum to your mission. It brings reality to your vision. It transforms hope into progress. Many people say, "I'm not ready." But readiness is a myth. You become ready by moving. You become confident by doing. You become strong by facing what scares you. If you wait to feel fearless, you will wait forever. The brave are not those without fear. The brave are those who act despite it. Acting boldly also means accepting failure as feedback, not as identity. When you take risks, not every step will succeed. Some efforts will fall short. Some paths will close. Some plans will collapse. But each failure sharpens your wisdom. Each mistake teaches you clarity. Each setback strengthens your resilience. The true self is forged in action, not in avoidance. There is a silent regret that follows those who never dare. It whispers, "What if? What if I tried? What if I believed? What if I moved?" Bold action removes this regret. It replaces it with experience, growth, and self-trust. Even if you fall forward. The true you is not fragile. The true you is not powerless. The true you is waiting for you to prove that you believe in yourself more than you believe in fear. And that proof comes only through action. Today, let this be your decision. I will act. I will step forward. I will take the chance. I will trust my path. Because every bold step I take is another lock broken, another chain released, another layer of my true self revealed. And once you unlock your true self, no force, there is a quiet battle happening inside almost every person. On one side stands self-belief, the voice that whispers, "You can do this, you are capable, you are enough." On the other side stands social approval, the loud crowd saying, "Fit in, don't stand out, stay safe, don't risk rejection." Most people spend their entire lives choosing social approval over self-belief, and in doing so, they live someone else's story instead of their own. From an early age, we are taught to behave in ways that gain acceptance, smile when expected, agree when uncertain, follow the group, avoid conflict, seek praise. This training becomes so deep that as adults, many people no longer know what they truly want. They only know what is acceptable. They mistake popularity for purpose and approval for achievement. But social approval is a fragile foundation. It shifts with trends, opinions, moods, and circumstances. What is admired today may be criticized tomorrow. If your identity is built on approval, your confidence will always be unstable. Self-belief is different. It is an inner certainty that does not depend on applause. It does not require permission. It does not collapse under criticism. Self-belief says, "Even if they doubt me, I trust myself." It says, "Even if I fail, I will rise." It says, "Even if I stand alone, I will stand." This inner conviction is the true source of greatness. Every innovator, leader, creator, and visionary in history chose self-belief over social acceptance at some point. They were misunderstood before they were admired. One of the greatest illusions in life is the belief that everyone is watching you. The truth is, most people are too busy worrying about their own insecurities to focus on yours. They judge quickly, forget easily, and move on. But the consequences of your inaction remain with you. Years later, it is not their opinions that will haunt you, but your unfulfilled potential. That is why choosing self-belief is an act of responsibility to your future self. Self-belief does not mean arrogance. It does not mean ignoring all feedback. It means trusting your inner compass more than external noise. It means learning, growing, adjusting, and improving while still honoring your core truth. It means understanding that you do not need everyone to agree with you to be right for yourself. When you choose self-belief, your decisions become clearer. You set boundaries without guilt. You chase goals without apology. You speak honestly without fear. You take risks without begging for validation. And slowly something beautiful happens. The right people respect you. The right opportunities appear. The right path unfolds, not because you chased approval, but because you honored authenticity. Social approval is rented space. Self-belief is owned land. One can be taken away in a moment. The other stays with you for life. When applause fades, when opinions change, when crowds disperse, all you have, everything you have heard today comes down to one powerful truth. Your life changes the moment you stop giving away your power to other people's opinions. When you stop seeking validation, you reclaim your worth. When you recognize that opinions are distractions, not directions, you regain clarity. When you understand that caring too much weakens your power, you learn to protect your energy. When you act boldly, you unlock your true self. And when you choose self-belief over social approval, you step into the person you were always meant to be. You were never born to live a life controlled by fear, judgment, or approval. You were born to create, to lead, to express, to rise. The world does not need another copy. It needs the real you. Raw, brave, authentic, unapologetic. So today make a decision. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. Decide that you will no longer shrink to make others comfortable. Decide that you will no longer silence your dreams to fit in. Decide that you will act like you don't care about what does not serve your growth, so you can deeply care about what truly matters. Your future is waiting for your courage. Your destiny is waiting for your action. Your true self is waiting for your permission. Stop asking the world who you should be. Start showing the world who you are. And remember this: the moment you stop caring about the wrong things is the moment your life finally begins.